It's Week 8 in the NHIA Division II, and the stakes remain high as the Bobcats of Plymouth Regional High School hit the road to Pennacook to take on the Merrimack Valley Pride. Just a week removed from their first loss of the season against Souhegan at home, Plymouth is looking to bounce back and reassert itself at the top of the Division II East. While the Pride are searching for their first win of 2025, hoping home field energy here on senior night can help spark an upset against one of New Hampshire's most consistent programs. Welcome to Merrimack Valley High School, everyone. I'm Dan Salzer alongside Mike Courier, as always, and tonight it's a classic late-season clash. One team looking to restart its championship momentum, and the other trying to play spoiler and finish the year strong. Mike, when you look at both of these teams coming in opposite trajectories here in 2025, what is your headline for tonight?
Well, the headline would be for Plymouth to bounce back from last week, which I think they will do. They're a little banged up from last week, but you expect that with 250 teams playing. Plymouth will go back to what they do normally, and I think that size-wise they've got an advantage here. Merrimack Valley they have a lot of heart, but they haven't had a great season this year. And I think that Plymouth, if they don't make mistakes, don't turn the ball over, I think Plymouth should end up on top.
For Plymouth, it's been another solid season under head coach Chris Sanborn. The Bobcats' formula remains steady: power football, disciplined defense, and a veteran leadership steering the way. Quarterback Kevin Sanborn has thrown for over 600 yards, 11 touchdowns this season. And again, captain and senior Ben Valenti anchors that backfield, 665 yards on the ground, 10 touchdowns on the year. The supporting cast of the Russo brothers and Cooper legacy adds that versatility and balance on an offensive side, and that can grind through the defense and strike quickly through the air. Mike, even in last week's loss against Souhegan, Plymouth showed some flashes what make them dangerous. What do they need to focus on most to get back on track tonight?
Well, the one thing that was not there last week was the passing game. I think they threw the ball 5 times, and Souhegan took advantage of that. They had 9 guys in the box, which means between end to end inside. They just loaded up to stop the running game, and the running game was pretty much slowed down. Plymouth had, when they ran their 2-minute offense, no huddle, they had them on their heels. They went 69 yards and scored. Plymouth has got the capability to do that, but you've got to be able to mix it up a little bit with the throwing game as well as the running game. The running game is the bread and butter, but you've got to have something, especially if you're behind, you've got to have something where you can catch up on some big plays.
On the other side of the field, Merrimack Valley Pride have dealt with growing pains but continue to battle each week. Again, they're coming off of a very short week, having to play Trinity a few days ago in that makeup game from a few weeks ago. So a game that they barely lost, it was 14-10, so they have a lot of determination. Nate Wallace has emerged as a bright spot, rushing for over 500 yards and 4 touchdowns, while quarterback Jack Paris provides leadership under center with tight end Chris Babones, who was recognized here in senior night as well as a veteran target. The challenge is clear tonight, though. Find a way to move the ball against a Plymouth defense that gives up fewer than 10 points per game on average. Mike, it's been a tough run for Merrimack Valley, but this is a group that hasn't quit all season long. What can a game like this against one of the state's elites do for the development of a program?
Well, I think when you show that you can compete with the best, and the game against Trinity they lost 14-10, so they were definitely in that game the whole way, which should be a bright spot for them this year. But if you play a team like Plymouth and if you play well against them, that's encouragement towards getting better as a school for football. Whether they can beat Plymouth or not remains to be seen, but they've got a couple guys in the quarterback and the running back and some good-looking kids out there on the line. And, anything can happen. And, again, it comes down to turnovers. And, if Plymouth doesn't make mistakes, they'll win. If they make mistakes, it's going to be a closer game than people might think.
Looking at things, talk about the Trinity matchup against Merrimack Valley a few days ago in that makeup. Trinity now technically atop of the East on points, and even though both teams in Plymouth and Trinity are 6-1, so Plymouth hasn't seen themselves out of that 1 or 2 position for the playoff seeding all season long, and they really need to get going here tonight.
Yeah. Well, and we've got tonight's game. Of course, you take them one at a time, but then they follow up and play St. Thomas in the last regular season game. And St. Thomas has shown some real spark throughout the year. It's a good football team, so it's not by any means a given that Plymouth will win that game, but they certainly have the work cut out for them.
Both teams have something to prove tonight. Plymouth wants to sharpen its edge heading towards the playoffs, while Merrimack Valley aims to play inspired football under the lights in front of their home fans on senior night. Clock's counting down, the lights are bright, and the crowd is ready. We'll be back in just a moment as we get set for Week 8 in this showdown, coming your way next here on Pemmy Baker TV. Welcome back, fans, here on Pemmy Baker TV as we count down to kickoff. We get set for the coin toss here this evening.
Sportsmanship is a top priority in New Hampshire high school athletics. Please consider all opponents and referees as guests.
Really just waiting to go, Mike.
And as you can probably tell, we're sitting very close to the announcer today, so bear with us.
Yeah, we got the coaches around us, the PA. Just, again, thank you to Kenny Edwards, the athletic director here, graciously giving us some space in the press box as we have the last few years here, traveling down to Merrimack Valley.
Thank you for your cooperation.
But, yeah, you're going to hear things over the microphone, and it is what it is. We're just having a good time.
If you hear anything you don't like, it's not us.
Even if it is us, we're not going to say it is.
We'll blame it on somebody else.
Welcoming your Merrimack Valley High School.
So Merrimack Valley entering from the left. We'll go to our GoPro, our wide shot here tonight. As the Pride make their way onto the field. Pride are in their home navy blue uniforms, black helmets, and gray pants. Bobcats in the road white uniforms here today. We're going to go for the national anthem.
For the playing of our national anthem by our very own Pride of the Marching Band.
Great job by the marching band here for the Pride. Mike, any final thoughts before we get coin toss here?
No, every week, it's probably sound redundant, but it is about who makes mistakes and who turns the ball over and that sort of thing. I will say one thing about the Souhegan game. In the first half, without their starting quarterback in, they were forced to play people in different positions, running the Wildcat and whatnot. And they struggled with Plymouth. Plymouth did a great job. The quarterback made the difference. Now, he's been out a couple games, plus the first half of last game because of injuries. So they're playing Pelham tonight. And if something happens to the quarterback, I think it's going to be a whole different situation with Plymouth playing Souhegan again. With the quarterback healthy, Souhegan's chances are a lot better. But I think Plymouth's just got to keep focused on what they're doing tonight and what they do next weekend, and then prepare for whomever they're going to meet in the first round.
Yeah, you never want to overlook an opponent. I know, again, we talked about at the top of our show, Merrimack Valley struggling, looking for their first win of the season, have been in a lot of close games, but Just only a few. We had a very long senior day for them, but it was the whole marching band and the color guard, bass fishing, a few football players, the cheers team. So a few football players and seniors, but it's a young program overall.
Yeah. Yes, I see a lot of freshmen here and underclassmen, not too many seniors actually. So, and that's good to have kids that are going to be getting the opportunity to play in real time at games at a young age.
So, as you hear, Merrimack Valley won the toss and elected to defer to the second half. So Plymouth will receive, as they've done probably 7 out of 8 games this year. And they will go right to left across your screen here in the first quarter. Merrimack will go left to right. So glad you could join us. Week 8 here in New Hampshire high school football.
As the crow flies, you're probably on the score of mine. You're probably not that far, because Pennacook's right over those things. Right down.
Missed it last night. Haven't seen the replay. Just a shout out to the Bobcat field hockey team. A heartbreaking loss in a shootout after double overtime to Dairy Field 2-1. I know it was a lot of confusion at the end, but just wanted to say hats off to the team. Fantastic season. Tough loss for girls soccer yesterday at home against Oyster River. Kept it really close, a 2-0 loss, a really good game by them. Volleyball on the road at John Stark, falling 3-1. They're having a tough season. Will miss playoffs. Had needed to win last night and tonight to have a chance to get in as the last seed in, and that won't happen. And boys soccer tonight at Oyster River. So a lot happening around Bobcat country and Bobcat Nation here this evening. So we are set to go. Captain and Christopher Abonis ready to kick it off. We are underway here in week 8. Valenti will gather it at the 20 and work over to his right side. Some good blockers in front of him. He's down the right sideline, has some room, and he steps out. Or correction, it was Russo, my apology.
That's right.
Just past midfield.
So it was a nice wall set up over on the Plymouth side.
Yep,
by their,
so Brody Russo, great job for him. And it'll be 1st and 10. Yeah, and they'll start him at the 43. So we'll see Kevin Sanborn and the Bobcats offense go to work. Sanborn this season, 28 of 52, 611 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Valenti leading the way on the ground, 665 yards on 76 carries. Bobcats will break the huddle. Marsh in motion on the jet sweep. Has some blockers and gets wrapped up from behind. Great work from Nathaniel Wallace, number 8.
It was their speed sweep coming away from the Plymouth side, and they picked up about 5 on the play. Nice job by Mr. Marsh.
Marks down at the 39-yard line. Second and 5 coming up. Sanborn under center. Again, Marsh in motion. Going to drop back and throw, looking over the middle, and just through the hands of Bryson Stone, incomplete.
Well, and Stone jumped a little bit early on that. He was up coming down when the ball went through. May have made a difference, maybe not, but incomplete pass. The ball was well thrown and on target. I think you heard it's 3rd down now.
Yeah, 3rd and 5 here as I try to keep our scoreboard updated. We don't have our producer like normal, Xander Shin, with us. Hope he is going to feel better and be back for St. Thomas game next Saturday. 3rd and 5 here for the Bobcats at the 39 of the Pride. 2 wide receivers set right side. Low snap, handoff here. Valenti has some blockers. Gets across the 25 and still going. And it'll be enough for a Bobcat first down at about the 31.
Nice second effort by Ben, and a host of Bobcats helping their little tush push.
A
lot of controversy over that tush push. Hey, if it's legal, why not?
tackle made by Brandon White on the play.
Here there, Brendan White taking the tackle for the Pride.
First down and 10.
Going to move Stone out to the right side again. Got Legacy and Marsh. Marsh will go in motion. Handoff. Ciotti trying to drive his feet. Will get about 4 on the carry.
That was a speed sweep look, but once that speed sweep guy crosses the center, it's pretty certain he's not getting the ball. So Ciotti took it to the backside, picked up 4 or 5.
Yeah, they give him 5 on that one. Sandberg going to roll out, no protection, finds Bryson Stone though.
Bryson
on
Stone
the right side, and Stone's going to be in for a Bobcat touchdown.
did a nice job. That was a kind of a curl pattern, and it was short. He was being played deep by the defender, and he was wide open on that. And Sanborn did a nice job throwing off his front foot to make the completion, and then the defender was shrugged off, and Stone went in for the touchdown. It was a nice play.
So 31 yards caps off a 43-yard drive as he gets set for Stone's extra point. See if he's a little winded here to get a little breather. I know they're in conditioning shape at this point, but I'm winded. Stone set for the extra point. Here, 9:55 to go, first quarter. High snap.
Nice job.
And a beautiful kick is up and good. Bobcats 7-0 after the opening drive.
Is good. So with that, your score.
So Bryson Stone has 7 points already.
Yeah, he's already carrying the offense right there, but really like what Sanborn did there. Had pressure off the edge, unblocked, and able to still take the hit and get the throw off.
Well, you know, I've heard it said in the background, not here, but other places, that he throws better under pressure, which is great.
It showed there for sure.
And I think sometimes people do better under pressure just because you don't have time to think, and if you think too much, sometimes it gets in the way. Let your muscle memory take over and do what you've been doing for practice.
Setting up the kickoff here from the 40-yard line. Back to receive for the Pride is number 21, Kingston Claremont.
Claremont back to receive the kick. As you see at the left side of your screen. Stone legs his line and getting ready to kick it off here. And it's a short one over the middle. Bobbled by Tubbs. Picked up there by Claremont at about the 20 and tackled just shy of the 35.
Looked like Crane and Colin Lane on the tackle.
Brings the ball to the 30.
So here comes the offense for the first time tonight for Merrimack Valley. I know you have some stats in your pile there, Mike, for Merrimack Valley, for some offensive stats. I only printed one copy because, well, I messed up.
That's okay. Sorry.
So we'll get you some stats so far this season. Paris under center. Handoff. Driving forward is Wallace, I believe. He'll get maybe 5.
Nice effort on that. They hit him at the line of scrimmage, but he carried that whole pile with him and just kept his feet churning. So just like the teacher. Nice job.
That'll bring up a second down and 6.
Look at Jack Paris this season, 15 of 34, 170 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Nate Wallace leading the way again, 501 yards rushing this season. Hand off to Wallace again, left side of the line. It gets a couple across the 40.
Wallace on the carry once again to the left side, picks up 2 on the play.
This will be third and short
42-yard
coming up
line.
for the Pride.
It'll be a third down and 3 to gain for the Pride.
Again, Coach, you kind of expect that Wallace will have his number called a lot here this evening.
I would think so. He's certainly their go-to guy on the ground.
Paris. Handoff. Wallace gets swallowed up right away. Great job there from Zed Osarian, number 66. And it's 4th down.
So that's going to bring up a 4th down and 4 to gain. Ball at the 40-yard line, 41-yard line in Pride territory.
So 4th and 3 here with 8:05 to go, first quarter, and we're going to see the punt unit out. Bonus back to punt it away. Rousseau and Valenti back to receive the kick. And a flag on the play. And somebody jumped for Merrimack Valley, so they'll back this up 5. We'll wait for the official word. Whoa, encroachment on Plymouth. So it's going to be an automatic first down. Oh, and again, you talked about it, Coach. The penalties and the errors are going to cost Plymouth at times.
And this time of the season, those things should have been ironed out by now, and kids have got to really be focused.
In a Valley first down.
I mean, these are the kinds of things that lets the other team in, and you can't afford to make these mistakes.
So the Valley has it at their own 46-yard line. Wallace in the backfield. Handoff left side here for Miller, and he'll lose a few yards. Lose about 3.
Metwali was on a blitz on that, came up the middle, and he almost got a hand on the kid, but the right side of the defensive line penetrated, and they set him back for a loss.
So 2nd and 13. Clock continuing to run. Bobcats leading off for the opening drive. Pressure coming. Paris going to throw out and just out of reach of his intended target. Tried to find Fawcett.
Paris' pass incomplete, intended for Fawcett.
So 3rd and long.
Well, it was
the Pride.
A quick throw to the flat, which was open. He just overthrew it. There were Bobcats in the area. I don't think it would have gone much further than that, but still it was open, and they would have picked up probably 3 or 4 yards anyway.
Quickly, 3rd down situation after the penalty. That gave them an automatic first down as Pride were about to punt. Harris going to throw, finds Fawcett over midfield, but it's dropped incomplete. Had it for a moment, and it's 4th down.
It was a nice job done by Dominic Ciotti. Hit him pretty hard, and the ball came out. The ball was well thrown. It was right to the receiver. Just couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, I would say that was a really nice throw from Jack Paris. Bonus back to punt it away. It's a good snap. Gets it off just in time. A nice bounce. Rousseau at the 27. Has a block and tackled across the 35. And good coverage there by the Pride.
Pride punts it away. Returned by the Bobcats.
So Plymouth will start
38-yard line is where they'll start
at the 37. So we'll see what Plymouth dials up on their 2nd drive of the game. Eli Embark went in as the wide receiver just off to the bottom of your screen on the right side. Handoff, lots of room for Ciotti, but again, a great wrap-up in Wallace, tracking from behind. 2nd great play from him this evening on the defensive side.
4 on the play, but hit and stopped and brought down by Nate Wallace. 2nd down and 6 to gain, ball at the 41-yard line.
Plymouth looking to continue. Just again, you talked about it. Just 3.5 yards every play.
No penalties, no turnovers, and just keep pushing the ball.
Pride getting loud here on the near sideline. Handoff. Ciotti, great stutter step across midfield and more. Tackled across the 45 of the Pride.
And that was a nice job done by Cullen McNair. He got his guy. He was stalemated initially and then kept driving his feet. He actually, Ciotti ran into the back of him, and then when he pushed forward, Ciotti was able to scoot out by him to make a really nice gain on that.
16-yard gain there for Ciotti. 1st and 10 Bobcats in Merrimack Valley territory. .5:28 and counting first quarter. Bobcats scored on their opening drive on a 31-yard touchdown by Bryson Stone. Rousseau in motion. Sanborn over the middle and finds Cooper Legacy for another Bobcat touchdown.
Legacy's got great speed. He made the cut, and on that cut, he accelerated. And Sanborn put the ball right in the numbers. It was a great pass, great catch, good route he ran, and we've got another 6 points.
I believe a 43-yard TD there for Cooper Legacy. Bobcats looking to make it 14-0.
And again, this is the kind of thing that the Bobcats going forward with some of the more competitive games they have ahead. Mixing in the pass really helps the overall game.
Kick is up, and it is good. And Bobcats have scored a touchdown on their first 2 drives of the night.
And Bryson Stone is money on that extra point as well.
You gotta be careful not to give commentators curse now.
Curse?
Commentators curse. You say it too much.
Okay, yeah. Well,
I've been known to do it. Not intentionally.
It wasn't going to be a curse till you mentioned it was going to be a curse.
I know. Now I've made it a thing. Again, we'll be keeping an eye on the Souhegan-Pelham game. If you fans know it, put it in the comments section, the chat on YouTube, or send Mike and I a message. We love the interaction with our fans.
Nice messages.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have stipulated that. Stone kicks it off. It's high end over end, going to the far side. Gathered up there by Johnson and tackled just shy of the 30.
Sean Johnson on the return jukes his way for a 10-yard gain. So the Pride will start their
So about that message thing. Thank you, Cabby.
on their own 28-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Pride.
So Merrimack at their own 28 to start their second drive. Bobcats haven't really gotten much pressure in the backfield yet. Handoff here, and again, good carry coming. I believe that was Wallace once again.
Wallace
And it is.
picks up 4 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 6th gain for the ball now at the 32-yard line.
And that tackle was made by Metwali.
He's had flashes of brilliance this season, too. Matt Wally, a senior. Here, 4.5 to go, opening quarter. Paris under center. Handoff on the fullback there for Tubbs, number 34.
Toss
Like,
up the right side, picks up 1 on the play.
looks like it's 3rd and 6.
5 to go.
Great crowd in the bleachers on the far side. Some fans scattered around the field here. what is now feeling like a late fall Friday night game. Finally feeling cold for football. Pitch back here for Miller. Miller across the 35, only gets about 3. I'll give him 4 on that. It'll be 4th and 2.
Well, in talking to the coach and staff, one of the fellows I talked to said they like to run that eye and power eye, and they've been practicing against that all week. That toss right there, it looked imposing coming this way, but Marsh did a great job turning that thing inside.
4th and 2, punt unit on. The bonus ready to kick it away. Again, Russo and Valenti back to receive it. The bonus good, end over end. And Valenti is hit right away and shakes free, but he's going backward and has lost about 10 yards from where he caught the punt. Not what you wanted to see.
Well, you know, it's survival mode. When you catch the ball, you get hit, and then you're trying to get loose, and you do, but then you're kind of you're not sure which way you're going, and it spins him out and took him back, and he fought the good fight, but it cost him about 7 or 8 yards on that.
So I'm going to say his knee was down at the 35-yard line. And 2 drives, 2 touchdowns for the Bobcats.
And Plymouth's gone twins to the right.
Quarterback keeper was Sanborn. Has a first down and more as he will be gang tackled at about the 48-yard line of Merrimack Valley.
Great job. He had good speed going up there. That was obviously not any kind of an option play. He was going for the quarterback draw on that. Well executed.
So Bobcats back in Pride territory. Clock counting down. A quick first quarter so far, Coach. Sanborn back under center. Handoff, Ciani right side, gets through the line into the secondary. And forward progress. This is a rugby scrum, as we've seen so many times this season, and finally we get the whistles.
It's kind of a mini tush push, I think.
Scrum turning into a tush push.
Marsh did a great job keeping it going on that. He hit the hole well and picked his way through.
They'll give him 7 on the carry. The 2nd and 3 from the 41. Stone and Marsh, twins right. Pride collapsing down the box here. Handoff, Ciani breaks a tackle or 2 across the 35 before he's slammed down to the turf. And it's another first down for Plymouth.
Great job. Good fake by Sanborn on that. He made the handoff and then carried out as if he was going to run the quarterback draw again, and that held a couple guys in check. So nice job by Kevin on that.
First down and 10 ball at the 33-yard line.
Approaching the final minute here in the opening quarter. As they'll break the huddle. Stone wide right. Sanborn going to roll out, look for Stone again. It actually goes to Russo over the middle at the 20. He's tackled inside the 15.
Russo came from the backside and ran a post pattern, and he was wide open ahead of the defender by about 5 yards. And Sanborn delivered once again. So did a great job on that.
I believe it was a 19-yard catch there from where the spot is. And time for one more play here in the quarter if Plymouth decides to. It's 1st and 10. Deep inside the red zone. Mark it at about the 13-yard line. Ten seconds on the clock, as you see on your screen. They do get the playoff. Inside handoff, and it's Taylor Rousseau to the right side as he gets spun down, as clock will expire to end the first quarter of action. It's been an exciting one. Bobcats threatening here as they lead 14-0 after one. Don't go anywhere here on Pemmy Baker TV. Back out of the timeout. First and 10, Bobcats. Handoff, and it's Brody Rousseau as he will power his way
Touchdown.
into the end zone. Oh,
Well, the guy on the right here
short.
threw his hands up, so I don't know. The guy
I guess, yep, touchdown here, Bobcats. Again, it's out of my vision here to the right. The other
it
guy
was.
didn't
I
give
just
it.
happened to see two hands come up.
So there you go, Brody Rousseau, the junior, with the touchdown.
So we had some confusion on our listeners about the Rousseau boys because there's two of them. And number 28 is Taylor Rousseau, and 25 is Brody. So if you don't hear a first name, look at the number on the player, and that should help you out.
We'll try to give it to you.
We get very excited up here sometimes.
So it caps off a 65-yard drive for Plymouth as they now lead 21-0, 5 seconds into the second quarter.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to visit the concession stand hosted by
So 3 drives, 3 touchdowns so far, Coach.
cheeseburgers, hot dogs,
Well, Plymouth's firing on all cylinders. Again, not turning the ball over, not making mistakes.
tasty treats for a tasty price.
Miller back to receive this one. Little pooch kick to the far side, and it will go out of bounds. So it's beyond the 35, so it should be where the spot is out of bounds, I believe.
Yeah, Merrimack Valley needs to watch out on a short kick like that because it's live. And there have been teams that have actually done a little arching pooch kick, and their widest guy has come and caught the ball. And you got to keep an eye on that sort of stuff.
So a timeout taken by Merrimack Valley. Their first timeout. We'll step aside as well. Early action, second quarter. Bobcats leading on the road, 21-0. Don't go anywhere. Back out of the timeout by the Pride just to get organized here. First and 10 at their own 44. Handoff Wallace as Taylor Rousseau will wrap him up, and maybe a gain of 1 on the carry.
Wallace on the carry picks up 1 on the play, brings the ball to the 45-yard line. Second down and 9 for the Pride.
So good defensive line there, Mike, holding for Plymouth.
Yeah, I'm looking at the size difference. I mean, Plymouth's got 250 pounds, 250 pounds, 255, and 240. That's pretty good beef up there.
I'm that size, but I'm short and just all fat, no muscle. Second and 9, handoff. Wallace right side and hit right away. And I believe that was Cam Magoon. Oh, no correction, it was Dylan Braley, number 56, that got in there.
Wallace on the carry once again picks up 2 on the play.
Give him a couple.
Merrimack Valley now looking
But
at
quickly
the
third and long, just shy of midfield.
7-yard line.
Starting to see some subs coming in. See Mason Jones, sophomore, to the line, number 60. Harris under center. Gonna throw it, looking, throw it to the near side, and it's through the hands of Brody Russo. And just like that, it's 4th down. So it'll be a 3 and out here for the Pride.
So that'll bring up a 4th down and 7 here for the Valley Pride.
Fairly quiet crowd at the moment. See Marsh now back to receive the punt with Brody Russo. Good snap, nearly blocked. Low roll. Marsh at the 28. Gonna get tackled at about the 38 here.
Did a nice job. He cut the ball back inside and picked up an extra 4 or 5 yards on that cut. So good choice on his part. It was low coming from the foot, and I think it nearly hit somebody in the helmet.
Yeah, I've got
and it was an end over end.
I've got a post in front of me, so it's hard for me to see. I thought it might have gotten tipped, but yeah, it was close to hitting a helmet. But nevertheless, good job. The bonus to get the punt away. And the Bobcats offense sees the field for the 4th time tonight. Break the huddle. Bargwin will come as a wide receiver to the right side. Sanborn checking around, making sure everyone's set. Handoff on the full back and nowhere. Great defense there for the Pride. And Ciotti gets maybe 2 with forward progress. I believe that was Hunter Duquette, number 56 on the tackle.
By 68, Birch. It ends up being
Say Birch as well in there on the tackle.
2nd down and 8 ball at the 39-yard line.
Plymouth will break the huddle. Gonna move 2 wide receivers to the right side yet again. Sanborn in the shotgun, little pitch out here to Ciotti. Great blocking out in front. Gets past Wallace and is tackled just shy of midfield. Wrapped up nicely there coming from Babonis, number 7. It'll be 1st down, Plymouth.
The wide guys did a great job blocking. They, it's hard to block as a receiver because you're standing there. You've got to kind of mirror what the defender's doing and then try to just get in their way for the most part, unless you're attacking. But on something like that, they just had to mirror them and just stay between them and the ball carrier and let the ball carrier make the cuts, which he did.
9 minutes to go, 2nd quarter. Bobcats leading 21-0. They've scored a touchdown on all 3 of their drives so far tonight. Bobcats break the huddle, hurry up and get to the line. Sanborn will go back in the shotgun once again. Marsh in motion to the left side, runs in with Ciotti. Gonna go over the middle for a Bargwin, and great defense. Jack Paris, number 10, got his hands up and helping out as a safety.
Bargwin had steps on him. If the ball had been, he'd let him a little bit more, he would have had a touchdown. That was thrown a little bit behind him, and the defender did a nice job recovering.
Starting quarterback doing some great defensive plays there, and great not to have contact, getting the hands up and knocking that down. So 2nd down and 10 now for Plymouth at their own 49. Sanborn back in the shotgun. Marsh in motion, quarterback design play, and he has nowhere to go. Pride were ready for it, and they will drop him back at the 40. Whistles were sounding. But Liam Birch, number 68, and a couple others in there. So 3rd and 12.
And 13 ball at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, 3rd and 13. See if Plymouth tries to air it out again. They have a Bargwin in as a wide receiver this entire drive so far. Ciotti the lone in the backfield. Sanborn over the middle looking for Legacy.
There may be a flag
and there's
on
a
that.
flag coming in
There
with a
is.
Contact. Tough one there. Legacy almost made the catch.
Well, the coverage was pretty good. Legacy did have the opportunity to make the catch, and there was contact.
This
so.
might be offsetting. We got 2 flags down, one at the line of scrimmage on the Plymouth side, and then one for that defensive passing interference. So
Pass interference and holding.
Oh, both on them.
Maybe.
So.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah, it's
well,
both
great.
on Merrimack Valley. I thought it was going to be offsetting. So they'll take the defensive passing interference.
Not
Oh,
offsetting.
no, it is offsetting.
Yeah.
I thought I saw the point.
Yeah.
All right, so offsetting. We'll do it again, 3rd and 13. We'll get it right eventually.
The 3rd down and 13.
Bobcats break the huddle. 7:36 the time left here in the second quarter. Marsh in motion to the right side. Pressure off the edge. Throw, low throw, and caught. All they're going to say incomplete for Eli Bargwin. That was close.
No, they're giving it to him.
Did he just wave it off?
It's catch.
All right, it's catch. But nevertheless, it'll be 4th and 5. I could have sworn I saw the hands waving for incomplete. That's what I get. It's been a long week of teaching.
Very nice catch by a Bargwin.
Eli getting down low and kind of soccer goalkeepering that just into his chest to keep it off the ground. Plymouth going to go for it here on 4th and 5. Wait, delay. As
The inside trap.
yeah, Taylor Russo across the 40, and Bobcats convert on 4th down.
And Russo is limping a little bit coming off the field. But well executed. Sanborn did a good job handling the ball, that inside handoff. And the trap worked pretty well for him.
So Plymouth with a fresh set of downs at the 39. Ciotti in the backfield. Handoff, it's Brody Russo. Couple of stiff arms, a third one across the 35 down to about the 34.
That was another trap with a double handoff on that, which against Sauhegan, they fumbled the ball on that. But it's nice to see it when it works. It's generally a play that is open. The misdirection confuses the defense.
Give them 6 on the carry, 2nd and 4. Plymouth started this drive back at their own 38-yard line. Three different scores tonight. Now, Captain Sanborn up to 13 passing touchdowns on the season. Legacy in motion. Fullback handoff. Ciotti breaks free. Into the secondary, moves to the right at the 10-5, and he'll dive for the pylon, and he's in for a Plymouth touchdown again.
And unfortunately, we got a Merrimack Valley player on the field.
Down on the field, back near the line of scrimmage.
Ciotti did a great job, and he cut that thing back and outside. He had a good nose for the goal line on that.
So an injury on the play for Merrimack Valley.
I can't get a number.
Believe it is Liam Birch, number 68.
Yeah, somebody did drop their phone, right?
So we will step aside. Hopefully Birch will be okay. We'll be back in just a moment. Bobcats score here. A 33-yard touchdown run for Dominic Ciotti. Bobcats up 27-0. Don't go anywhere. Back here on Pemmy Baker TV. Birch back up to his feet, which is great to see, as he will be helped off the field, but at least he is up and about. So he was down for a little while there, Mike.
He was, and he's a sophomore. You know, I was looking through the roster here, and they are a very young team. You have 6 seniors, and then you've got 4 freshmen, 14 sophomores, and 7 juniors. So these kids will all be back together again next year, except for the a couple of seniors.
So point after attempt coming up for Stone. And Holder and Sanborn notices that we are short a player. They're waving like they need one more. And a lot of confusion. Now we get, Crane doesn't know what he's doing.
Well,
he's running onto the field now, and Plymouth has about 10 seconds. Here's the snap in, almost blocked, but it's up and good. Bobcats now lead 28-0.
and nice job by Bryson Stone. He's on the mark 4 times.
Yeah, 4 for 4 today on the extra point attempts.
With a touchdown.
Yeah.
So he's having a good
Having
night.
yourself an offensive day. .5:13 to go in the first half. Again, no score updates yet from around Bobcat Nation. Some of the games happening today. No boys soccer down at Oyster River. Team that had not lost a game this year entered 14-0-1.
Remember to stick around with us at halftime. We'll have performances from your pride of the marching band.
See where this punt goes. Claremont back in to receive deep inside his own 10. Stone, high end over end, but it's short. Bounces at the 30, and
That's a live
that's
ball.
a live
That's
ball.
Plymouth ball.
That hit a foot. Plymouth think they have it.
Well, it's still a live ball.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah, because
still a
it's
live
still
ball.
live. Yeah.
I just mentioned on the far side they needed to watch out for that ball and watching it rather than grabbing it.
And it's Isaac Jolin who recovers.
So Plymouth will take over possession in Merrimack territory.
Yeah, crazy. That's a live ball there.
After
not a designed
after
on
10 yards, it's a live ball. If nobody touches it on the other team, it's still up for grabs.
For a second, I thought it came off a foot, but the way it kind of bounced back with the spin. Nevertheless, 1st and 10 Plymouth from the 31. And Sanborn just calmly gets taken down for a loss of about 5.
Looks like we had at least 2 or 3 lookout blocks on that one.
Behind the line of scrimmage, hit and stop by a combination of Bobonis
So it'll move
and
Plymouth back to the
Bigelow.
38.
So now with a loss of 10, that'll be a 2nd down and 20.
Well, they're going to make it 2nd and 17. So we count it out. But there's been a few times that pressure has gotten through on Sanborn this evening.
It has, and I'm not looking close enough to see what's going on in the line. I'm sure the fellows behind us have certainly got that picked out.
Legacy in motion. Quarterback design keeper. Sanborn, lots of running room and more inside the 20. Gets free, still on his feet. And he is going to walk it in for a touchdown. Sanborn goes 38 yards to the house. He says, I will take it.
These tall, slim guys,
Woo.
I'll tell you, the hips, they slide right off them. That was a great run by Cavan.
So a 34-0 lead now. Looking for the extra point. That's nearly blocked again. A lot of speed off the edge by Paris as it's up and good. Stone 5 for 5, and it's 35-0 Plymouth.
Bryson's done a great job. Those kicks are great kicks. They get up quick, and they're straight and true with a lot of good foot to them. We saw last week when they kicked the field goal from 41 yards out. He's got the leg.
He's got a leg indeed.
It's it's a matter of practicing as much as you can so you get consistent with your foot swing. But he certainly has done a great job today on the extra points. No off and on at all. He's been on.
Solid first half by Plymouth. 5 drives, 5 touchdowns here. Under the lights on Friday night, the final Friday night game of the season for Plymouth. The Road Warriors this year have 5 away. This is the last one, home against St. Thomas to wrap up the regular season on Saturday, November 1st. Good kick here, end over end to Claremont. He'll gather it at the 15. Claremont, lots of running room right up the middle and more. And tackled at the 45. A great return.
Nice return. He had clear sailing right up the middle.
With a 30-yard return on the play, gets the ball up to the 45-yard line with a great block by number 11.
So they'll mark it at the 45. Here come the Pride offensively. See if that will spark something here. Update, Souhegan opening drive touchdown against Pelham. They lead at 7-0 on. Can't remember if it's home or away for Souhegan. Handoff, Wallace gets popped right at the line of scrimmage. They'll give him 1, but he came to a dead stop quickly.
Wallace on the carry, picks up 1 on the play.
Looked like a nice tackle by Isaac Ahern.
Starting to see some subs coming in here. Getting confirmation. It's at Pelham, so a road opening drive touchdown for Souhegan. And a rematch of last year's Division II state championship game. Souhegan upsetting Pelham. Trying to do it once again. Souhegan, the last remaining unbeaten in Division II. Back here, it's 2nd and 9 at the 46. Handoff coming to the near side for Miller. And he'll get maybe 1 more.
Miller on the carry, picks up another 1 on the play. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 8.
And it's
Nice
quickly
job.
3rd and long.
Nice job by Brody Rousseau. He defensive end. He closed that down, and it was part of the tackle.
Paris gets the call. Sub coming in for Plymouth. Lex Santum, yep.
And we don't have a number 73.
We don't have it on our roster. We apologize for that. If you know it, send it our way.
Plymouth in a defensive 5-man front.
And a whistle here. And we've got a timeout taken by Merrimack Valley. Their second charge timeout. We'll step aside as well. 2:22 to go in the first half. Bobcats up 35-0. Back out of the timeout. It's 3rd and 8 for Merrimack Valley, just shy of midfield.
And Plymouth's gone into an offset 5 with a nose guard in the A gap.
They'll have motion with Westcott. Handoff up the middle and a big rush for first down coming for
It was a straight dive on that.
For a 13-yard
Tubbs, number 34, on that carry. A big first down for the Valley.
First down.
We'll keep it here at halftime. We'll show you the marching band and their performance. So we hit 2 minutes to go. Paris under center. Move Tubbs to the right. Hand off to him. Good block in front. He'll get about a yard. Wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage by Brody Russo.
Ball now just inside the 40-yard line at 39. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 9.
Chance for 1 or 2 more plays here in the half if Merrimack Valley wants to.
MV's offensive line is got very 1-foot splits, so it's very, very tight. And I think that they'll probably have more success trying to quick Plymouth by going straight ahead.
Tubbs and Claremont on the backfield. Handoff Claremont as he will get to the 35.
Claremont picks up about 5 on the
Be
play.
3rd and 4 here.
3rd and 4. Ball at the 35-yard line.
And again, that was a straight dive on their right side, Plymouth's left.
Really impressive drive being put together here by Merrimack Valley. As you see Wallace check back in. 24. Pride will get to the line. They're going to get this play off. Wallace handoff, gets into the secondary, but slips shy of the 30, and he'll be short of the sticks. Unlucky there. We'll give him 2. 4th and 2 as time expires as we head to halftime. And looking at things right now, Mike, we look at it. Plymouth 5 for 5 on their drives, 5 touchdowns from 5 different players.
Well, it's nice to spread the wealth around, too. You've got more options. If it's one guy doing all the scoring, it's a little easier for the defense to key on somebody. But, no, Plymouth's not made many mistakes. They've done a good job throwing the ball and running the ball. I think they're giving Ben Valenti a little bit of time, a little bit of rest, and giving Ciotti more action, which is good. The more experience, the more touches you get going into the postseason, the better for the individual players.
So with that, we'll be back in about 15 minutes to get ready for second half kickoff. But for now, enjoy the Pride Marching Band's halftime show.
And now, entering the field, the Merrimack Valley High School Pride of the Valley Marching Band, under the direction of Julia D'Antico, Bennett Schreiber, and color guard coach Connor Butt. Drill designed by Julia D'Antico. Music composition by Matt Conaway, Jay Boku, and Victor Lopez. With drum majors Christian Danforth and Nathan Rowe, and color guard captain Anna Mason. Performing their 2025 halftime show, James Bond. Featuring soloists King Collins, Graham Porter, Rihanna Cruz, Nathan Douglas, and Abigail Terry. Selections will include No Time to Die, Skyfall, and the James Bond theme.
I love that NBA story. The league does not want to talk about it all. They're telling the FBI to put them away. As much as possible, make it go. We want to send a message. We want to send. No. It's debtors. That's what I'm saying.
I can see the illegality of betting in your part of, but the illegal poker game, what's happening in every city, in every state, all across the country. Come on. I bet you I could drive to Concord right now and find 3 poker games.
It's very big money.
Yeah, they were cheap.
if you can forget to stop it on the owner, don't worry about it. You know, it's a tip thing, timeout, injury.
Yeah, I get a little penalty. Yeah.
Nick got a few passes back there.
Yeah. Have to move a little bit.
That first one he dropped him. The first quarter, I think it was moving.
They got the post time now. Going back to 25 seconds. The big guys that threw through and grabbed it.
Not that fast, but he was. Well, they're playing. I mean, they're trying.
He got beat right from the jump. It was like, oh crap. And held on. And then this hole allowed him to catch up. And it tipped again as the ball was arriving. And it was like, I looked at my
Bound to happen.
Not
Hope for an early snow. They'll be there all winter. You know where I live? I live at the end of the street. I know. Right down
And now let's welcome onto the field Merrimack Valley High School varsity cheer team, coached by head coach Sarah Gerlach, assistant coach Trinity Gerlach, and team captains Jenna Johansson and Libby Carter.
Yeah, I thought he took it from where I was. I thought he took it and muffed it.
He was waiting to scoop it. Somebody pulled the string.
Mike was right in front of you.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, that's great. When they don't have a good angle on it, nobody in the middle of the field other than okay, if you don't look at the one different, you keep doing the same way. Faster? I don't know. Well, it will be faster.
Well, when you're going right, you can't change anything.
If you get to stop it, work fine. I don't know why we do that. This may be one of those times. Why we do shit. The timeout. Injuries, yes. Timeouts, yes. That's the penalty for man. I don't know what's going on. We got two down.
I was going to say, I think they won't shoot on it for a quarter and a half.
He was on my side.
Welcome back here on Pemmy Baker TV. Dan Salzer with Mike Courier. So glad you could join us here for Week 8. Bobcats lead 35-0 at the break. And, Coach, as we talked about it, going into halftime, 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, 5 different scores for Plymouth. And that's the momentum they needed to get back after last week's loss.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's been nice to see Coach mix it up a little bit, throwing the ball more tonight, which I think helps the running game as well, and using some of his backup backs like Mr. Ciotti, who's had a really nice game today.
So again, Merrimack Valley won the toss, deferred to the second half. They get the kickoff here. High end over end will fall at the 25. Gathered up nicely by Johnson, and he'll dance his way shy of the 40.
We had Isaac Jolin in on that, as well as Cody Sawyer.
You heard that bang. That was the door closing to the upstairs for the Merrimack Valley coaches. Gives us a heart attack every time. They're going to put it at the 37. So we're starting to see, again, those second and third stringers coming in for Plymouth here. Running time, 35-0. Paris under center, handoff for Miller, and he has nowhere to go. It'll be a loss of a yard.
Nice job by number 78, Lex Santum.
Called his name a couple times here tonight. Big fella on the front of the line there. Update. Thank you to our good friend and former station manager, Andrew Fenn, giving us updates of the Souhegan-Pelham game. Souhegan just before half up 14-0 on the road. So that's big because that'll help Plymouth in playoff positioning. Depending on how things go tonight and the rest of the year. Handoff for Wallace, and he gets across midfield. And about a 15-yard carry for a first down.
A carry of 15 on the play. Brings the ball to the 49-yard.
See why he's got some yardage. He's pretty quick.
That is.
And enter tonight 501 yards on the season.
First down.
Paris again back under center, has Miller. And Wallace, handoff, Miller right up on the draw and into Bobcat territory deeper at the 45.
Miller up middle on the carry, picks up 4 on the play, brings the ball to the 45-yard line.
Merrimack Valley just grinding away in those nice run plays.
There's a fair amount of substitution going on now, which is good to get these kids experience.
Talked about a young program, got to develop them, keep that development going. Well, pitch out to Claremont on the right side. He dances for another Pride first down.
And again, they're just straight handoffs between the guard tackle gap, just quick hitters. And generally, if you're a smaller team, you pretty much have to go that route, try to out-quick your opponents.
Full second unit on, going up against the starter so far for Merrimack Valley. Don't think I see a starter still in for Plymouth defensively. 1st and 10 Pride at the 38-yard line. And a handoff inside for Johnson. He'll maybe get a couple.
Nice job by Mason Jones on that.
So 2nd and 8. See Johnson sub out the bottom of your screen. Clock moving right along here in the 3rd quarter as they break the huddle. And again, Claremont, right side, wrapped up right away, and it's Simeon Crane, number 20. Crane got in there in a hurry.
Yeah, Simeon did a nice job wrapping him up.
3rd and 6. Just over 7 minutes remaining in the 3rd. White Jr. as the center leads the Pride to the line of scrimmage. Apologize for the noise. Handoff. Claremont had to stop and kind of gather up the handoff, and he gets dropped right away.
He was held up by number 60, Mason Jones, and the mop-up was done by Simeon Crane, who came in and hit him pretty hard. So now we're looking at 4th down and about 6 or 7.
Yeah, 4th and 6, no gain on the carry. And we'll see what Merrimack decides to do here. Merrimack Valley bonuses in as a tight end. So they're going to go for it on 4th down. Handoff, Wallace right side trying to turn the edge and can't get there. And a turnover on downs. So Plymouth will take over. And a nice defensive stop for the 2nd team unit.
With a turnover on downs, ball now at the 30-yard line in their own territory.
I imagine we're going to see Mr. Jolin get the ball a few times.
Yes. Big fella has a couple. He has a touchdown this season, a couple of big runs.
Merrimack Valley, the boys soccer team today defeated Laconia 6-1.
5.5 and counting. Braden Quay in at quarterback, the freshman under center. Handoff, Simeon Crane on the fullback handoff, and he gets tackled and spun down. It should be enough, an 11-yard run for the Bobcats.
Crane on the carry, picks up 11 on the play, tackled by the bonus.
I think everyone was expecting it to go to Joel in there, and Crane just slipped right through.
And Crane has good acceleration, defensively and offensively, and he gets the football and he's all business.
Matt Valenti, the wide receiver, number 19, just off your screen left. Quay, handoff. Jolin, stiff arm one, and gets tackled. quickly, and nice job there by the Pride. First one in is Tubbs, number 34. Give him 1 yard, so 2nd and 9.
So that results in a 1 yard loss, 2nd down and 9, with the ball at the 44-yard line.
Plymouth will break the huddle. I'd love to see Braden Quay throw it a little bit here. I know freshman doesn't have the height yet, but has shown some great passes this season, especially with the freshman and JV teams. Handoff left side. That one's going to Darren Keefe, number 45, and he'll be stopped just shy of midfield.
He did a nice job. He got up, he tried to bounce it outside, ran into a blocker and a couple defensive guys, but if he had been able to make that cut, looked like he was going for gold.
So it'll be 3rd and 4 at the 49.
3rd down and 4 with the ball at the 49-yard line.
We've seen Braden Gouin with a great throw at Bo. Great command of his offense. Pitch out. Jolin trying to turn the edge and nowhere to go. Tubbs was right there waiting for him. It'll be a loss of a couple, and it'll be 4th down and probably 6 or 7.
Hit and stop for another loss by
That'll be
Jubal Tubbs.
4th and 7 now.
Yeah. And in fairness to our guys from Plymouth out there, they are still playing the starting defense for Merrimack Valley.
Plymouth going to go for it. Why not? Fourth and 7. Quay gonna air it out. Throws out to his left, and it's off the hands of his intended target, and Barrett Noyes incomplete, and a turnover on downs the other way.
Well, it came out like a rocket, but he was a little bit behind and high. I think if he'd been ahead of him a little bit, even with the height of the throw, he may have had the completion there. So it wasn't a bad ball, but it was difficult to catch.
So Merrimack Valley will have it at the Plymouth 46. And running time here with the 35-0 score line.
I think the subs, Merrimack Valley substituting.
Yeah, we see a lot more coming in. Miller out. Wallace heading out as well. Cash Fawcett still in there, number 9. Claremont in the backfield. Same with Tubbs. 1st and 10 Pride. We'd love to see them get on the board here. Tubbs charging through and more. Matt Valenti and also the likes there of Cody Sawyer for the tackle. But not before a big 1st down run.
I'll tell you, he's a sophomore. He's been pretty impressive. He's about as quick as anybody they have, and just takes off with that ball. He's ready to go.
Put some weight on him, and a little bit more muscle and size, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Paris under center, fullback handoff, and kind of a botched play on the handoff. No gain on the carry for Merrimack Valley. And it was a good effort coming for Joshua Adams. Chance for one more play here in the 3rd. Paris would love to get at least a touchdown throw or at least some points here on senior night. Go back under center. Tubbs gets hit right away, gets a few extra yards. Adams had a hand on him.
I'll tell you, he doesn't go down with the first hit either. He's a tough kid. I like what I see. I think we're going to hear a lot about him in the next couple of years. He's only a sophomore.
As that will do it for the 3rd quarter of play. Plymouth still leading 35-0. Final 12 minutes coming up next here on Pemmy Baker TV. To the fourth quarter we go. Dan Salzer alongside Mike Courier. So glad you could join us. Start the fourth with a 3rd and 6 coming for the Pride. As we are underway. Jebediah Tubbs, the new quarterback in, the freshman. Handoff for him to the right side for Evan Westcott. And still driving. Great job there. Looks like it'll just be shy by about a yard or two for Westcott.
Number 17, Evan Westcott on the carry.
It'll be 4th and 2.
So that'll bring up a 4th down and 2 game. Ball at the 26-yard line for the Pride, 4th down.
Now, I don't know about you. My money's on Tubbs to Tubbs here. Brother to brother.
Hopefully that is correct.
Well, they have the same last name, I'm hoping.
Heck, we've had Sanborns, and I've been called out by mistake. So,
well,
granted, baseball
there's a
season,
lot of Sanborns.
There's a lot of Sanborn clans. Tubbs to Tubbs, as you called it, as Tubbs number 34 in Jump Tubbs.
He's close.
He got it. Nice job. Good drive being put together here. So a 4th down conversion for Merrimack Valley. And they're at the 24-yard line of Plymouth.
Announce that is enough yardage for a Valley first down.
Put him at the 24. 1st and 10, Pride trying to get in the red zone for the first time tonight. 10 minutes and counting here in the 4th. The freshman gets under center. 3 in the backfield. Little confusion on the handoff. This one goes to Benjamin Gagne, number 35, his first touch of the night.
Number 35.
Looks like no gain.
Gagne on the carry. Hit and stopped right just past the line of scrimmage for a short gain, so that'll be about a 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 24-yard line. 2nd down for the Pride.
Plymouth's second team in there, looking pretty strong right now, Mike. Handoff again, and nowhere for Gagne to go. Quickly wrapped up.
Stockloza, Zealand.
Still be 3rd and 10 at the 24.
3rd down for the Pride.
Couple of subs coming in for Plymouth. See Isaac Aher, number 62, checking in for Evan Pollock. Tubbs goes back under center. 3 in the backfield once again for the Pride. 3rd and 10, handoff left side. Westcott has nowhere to go, and Plymouth's defense holds strong there for 4th down. Looks like it'll be a loss of 1.
Nice job of the Bobcats. They're jamming up that tackle area. And quick support from their linebackers.
So are we going to punt it away here? It looks like it for the bonus. Oh, we're going to go field goal attempt. So it's going to be a 42-yard attempt for the senior. There's the bonus. Here on 4th and 11. Drills this one. And it's good. A 42-yarder for Babonis.
Good for him. That was a great kick.
That was absolutely drilled. And why not get some points on senior night for him?
That's great.
From the 30
Again, that's the momentum that you need from a young team. You score against a team like Plymouth that's been dominating here tonight, and that has this bench all fired up below us here in the press box.
Well, that was a great kick. Definitely, the kid's got a leg.
So 7:34 to go in regulation. 35-3 now the score line. So Plymouth will not get their third shutout of the season, or fourth actually, my mistake. Again, if you missed the DOT meeting on Monday, it is on our YouTube channel. Hear from the state and the DOT with their cancellation of the intersection project of Smith Bridge and Tenny Mountain. And we have Plymouth Select Board on Monday night over on the government channel, 1301. Bonus ready to kick it off. Good driven kick, bobbled around, but picked up in the backfield there from Alex Lewis. And Lewis is tackled at the 25.
It was a great block by Zealand Stokloza. He came across and just crushed the kid. Clean. Obviously no flags, but
again, love to see the development. These guys will be starters here in the next year or two. So keep that development going and find that rhythm too. Understand where your receivers, where you're going to be, and just have that nonverbal communication. First and 10 Bobcats, 6.5 minutes to go. Dylan Cleesby late coming in, but gets in time for Merrimack Valley to the line. Handoff right side and still driving the pile forward of the Bobcats. And a good carry coming for the likes there of Darren Keefe. Gets about 7.
Bobcats pick about 7 on the play.
2nd and 3 Bobcats.
Tackle made
at the
by
33.
Ian DeWitt on the play. So 2nd down and 3.
Go at the line under center. Jolin on the handoff, has some room on the right side. First down and more, and he's tackled at the 48. A 15-yard run there for Isaac Jolin. And another Bobcat first down.
Tackled downfield by number 26, Romeo Robles. First down, 10.
Plymouth will start gearing up for St. Thomas, a game that they absolutely need to win, have a chance at being the 2nd seed and winning the East. Handoff right side again. Jolin going to come all the way back across, tackled across the 40 to about the 36, and another about 15-yard run.
This is what I expected to see, is see Isaac get the ball a little bit. He does a nice job. He's got good acceleration. He's got his head up. You can see he's almost a little bit too upright, but that'll come with experience.
4.5 all ready to go in the ball game. Plymouth leading from the start, scored on their first 5 drives of the game.
Got Hudson Palumbo in the game now. Number 64, a freshman.
Right will lead him to the line of scrimmage. Pressure coming from Merrimack Valley. Jolin on the draw play to the left and tackled at the 25. We'll see where the spot is. He might be a yard short. And nope, they'll give him 11 for the first down. So 3 straight first down drives, and he's gone about 40 yards.
Great job hitting the hole. He was down low, dove forward, picked up the extra yard. They're giving a little bit of a breather with Barrett Noyes coming in to replace him.
First and 10, just over 3 minutes to go. Quay gets the call from the sideline. Noyes and Bear in the backfield. Noyes hit right away, slips free. His knee goes down, but good work from Merrimack Valley.
Got a missed block, set that up.
Initially hit and stopped by number 72, Van Schoik.
Ben Schoik there, as you hear, the one on the tackle, number 72. We'll give forward progress of about a yard there for Noyes. See if this 2nd and 13 unit can get a score. Here with just over 2 minutes to go. Keefe hit right away. Wobbles for the tackle. So Plymouth, coach, executing exactly what they needed to do coming into today, rebounding, getting that rhythm, getting that confidence heading into the final week of the regular season. Have you seen anything from Plymouth? I mean, we saw the false start, the encroachment in the first quarter on the 4th down that gave Merrimack Valley that first down play. But other than that, have there really been any mistakes from Plymouth?
No, other than that, there hasn't been. The kids have done a good job.
Third and 9. Quay just going to bleed off the clock. Looking at the back judge, waiting for the hand signal. Doesn't get it, though. Handoff right side. Cutting back up is Noyes. And he'll be tackled, I believe, inside the 10 for another Bobcat first down here with 1 minute to go in the ball game. And we'll see if Plymouth goes in victory formation.
It was a nice run by Noyes. That was all him. He cut back inside, hit the guy, stayed up, kept driving, got the first down. Did a nice job on that.
Plymouth has executed what they needed to do. They'll calmly get to the line of scrimmage here. And they will go in victory formation. As Quay will just take a knee. As Plymouth will bounce back here tonight after their loss to Sauhegan last week at home. They will move to 7-1 on the year. And all to play for, Mike, on November 1st.
We're ready. We're ready. There'll be a lot of work done. I know that they've been looking at some of the plays of St. Thomas already. The coaches are breaking everything down. And they'll be well prepared, as always. And it should be a good game. I think St. Thomas has shown themselves to be a pretty tough team this year. And they're certainly capable of winning, but Plymouth at home, again, if they don't make the mistakes, they don't turn the ball over, they don't play sloppy, then hopefully they'll be able to control the situation and win the game and come out 8-1 for the season and go forward to play whomever they may play.
Again, if you're not aware, it's the point system. It's not just the record. So if Trinity and Plymouth finish both at 8-1, it's not on the tiebreaker automatically of Plymouth beating Trinity. It's on the points and the strength of schedule of your opponent. So Plymouth will have a little bit tougher of an opponent in St. Thomas next week compared to Trinity, so we'll have to see how everything balances out. But it's going to be close of, do you have a 2 seed in your home through the semifinals, or do you find yourself going on the road here early on, and that could drastically change the trajectory of this Plymouth team?
Yeah, I mean, it's all come down to this. They're going to have a really, really intense week working on all the various things they need to work on. I think that playing St. Thomas, that they put in a good mix of some high percentage passes with their running game. I think they're all set. The running game is solid, but when you run into a situation where you've got to either catch up in points or where you meet somebody that matches up pretty good with you on the lines, then you've got to rely on throwing the football a little bit. And there's several passes that they have that can take advantage of short, medium, and long. And we haven't seen a whole lot of the short or medium, maybe medium, but not the short stuff. And just need things that make the other team set back a little bit. Sauhegan was, they had 9 guys in the box and just loaded up on Plymouth last weekend, and it didn't help Plymouth not being able to throw the football.
So we'll see what happens. That's going to do it for us here tonight. So glad you could join us here live on Pemmy Baker TV, whether you're watching on cable, channel 1302 on YouTube, or our cloud-based service for our streaming. If you haven't checked it out, please do so. Our channels, both 1301 and 1302, Government and Public, are live 24/7. You can watch anywhere around the world. Find the links on the town website. For my partner in Mike Courier, I'm Dan Salzer. So glad you could be with us once again. Thank you to the team for running our camera here tonight. Final score for the final time. It's Plymouth Regional 35, Merrimack Valley 3. Bobcats move to 7-1 on the year. We'll see you next Saturday for a 1 o'clock kickoff on November 1st against St. Thomas. Coverage starting at 12:45. Other than that, have a wonderful weekend.